How's it going, people? Jack here with another video, and I have just got to thank you all, those of you who showed an amazing amount of love to my reaction to Randy Feltface. And ever since then, I've gotten a lot of requests to check out more of his content and of course adjacent comedians. I don't know if adjacent makes the same amount of sense because not all of them are puppeteered. Well, at least humor is on the table, and I fully understand that, and I very much want to indulge in more. But amongst most of the reactions that I've gotten, one stood out to me the most, which was Bo Burnham. I have had a huge desire to see more of his content, or at least react to some during live streams with chat, but unfortunately was a little bit unsure as to whether or not that was even possible, because given that there have been certain times where region-locked content was not available for me to check, where it was blocked straight up by either YouTube or Twitch. But I guess this time around, given that I am unfortunately, for those of you who are missing me during the live streams. Just as a quick bit of information for those of you who have been wondering where the live stream has been at, the current location where I'm living in right now is very, very removed from the city. It was a decision that I and my partner decided to do with our daughter, given that we kind of want to save to get a house in this economy. So we're living in a place that is very nice, and I have zero complaints beside the internet connection. It absolutely sucks. As a little bit of a perspective, I downloaded the recent Stalker game that came out recently, and Stalker 2, and that took me like an entire day. So internet bandwidth is not on my side. But regardless, Bo Burnham is a comedian that I know of. I've seen some of his special, I will say at least two of them, between the years of 2013 and 2016 on Netflix, and he has a great style. He's very reminiscent of Bill Wirtz, you know, the one who was responsible for the history of the entire world, I guess, and several others YouTube jingles. One that I remember fervently is, "Oh hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage." I love his style so much. But yeah, this is Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham, and given that this is a song, we are going to be pausing quite a bit. We'll be letting certain things just play through and perhaps just going back to it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Welcome to the Internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first.
Look, as a certified walking encyclopedia of useless knowledge that at times tends to get useful, the internet is just simply filled with a lot of good things, and of course bad. And being the one special person who finds no use for it or finds nothing interesting about it has got to be quite the feeling, because I don't think that that person exists.
Welcome to the Internet. Come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feet? There's no need to panic. This isn't a test.
Getting a little bit Tarantino in there.
Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the Internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be...
You know how real this is, because this is literally happening. There are people out there who are actually viewing this as being an option. Like, who are facing this like a QTE on, do you want to be a millionaire if the price was Deutschmarks? It is wild. And of course, one of the unfortunate sad things about being now an internet person is facing those racial slurs. And those vary, you know, from like the simple stuff that, well, simple, like from the N-word being said with the hard R that just makes me roll my eyes. And then of course, there's that one special individual that starts taking it geographical when they just read sub-Saharan, go like, what the hell is going on? I swear, some days when I hit the unfiltered comment, because occasionally I want to check out some things that people may have recommended that might not have come through because they decided to post links in the comment section, there is at times like a deluge of things that I just so foul. Like I said, they go from geographical to ethno-national, and I'm just like, well, that's the guy. That's it. We found him, Mr. Username Adolf_Dribbler. Like, it's so weird. At least I understand the guy who is down bad and, like Bo just said, is just
be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies.
Growing up, one thing that I really got to appreciate about Denmark is that we're rather good at cracking down on certain degenerate things. And I'm saying certain here because this is literally the country that was first at legalizing porn. So, Denmark. But when it comes to like certain websites that will like get young people to be involved in some bad things and or see a lot of gore, there were certain Swedish websites that literally had no moderation. You could just go and see the most vile stuff. Children in our classroom used to be putting those links on like the whiteboards during like breaks, and it was disgusting. The thing, however, that now as an adult, when you are spending time on certain social media platform, let's say the worst site on earth, Twitter, actual hell, you will still stumble on things like that while you're just scrolling through, I don't know, video game feeds or stuff about how to bake a cake.
And doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his car.
Harry Potter fanfics and actual drawing kind of went a bit downhill. Well, at least after Tumblr cracked down on the non-safe for work content. But I guess that you still have sites like Rule 34 who will do stuff like that. But yeah, that aside though, when it comes to dick pics, obviously I'm a guy. I don't get those. But I will say this, as a person who is very adamant of standing up for also women's wrongs, we are feminists in this household, I do not want unsolicited pictures of your ass or titties, okay? Please do not do that. And before some of the homies write that, oh Jack, you're just humble bragging here. First, only those of you who have watched the Sold Out Online Abridged will understand why I say it that way. Second, let's not apply double standards here, okay? Because it is equally as wrong. One thing is to have your significant other being horny and send you stuff like that. Another thing is to have a complete stranger being like, hey, pinch your shaft.
They are grainy and off-putting, he just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. See a man beheaded, get offended, see a shrink. Show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think. Start a rumor, buy a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer. Or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor.
Oh, wow. What the fuck? It's disturbing how well this rhymes. Like, hear this again.
A broomer, send a death threat to a boomer. Or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor.
Death threats to a boomer or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor. Well. It speaks volumes to how not far we've gotten with this, with the allegations and confirmed suspicions that many had this year about so many people. The internet has not normalized it. I wouldn't say that, despite the fact that in certain avenues, you will see people on sites like Kick be just the worst, the absolute worst people imaginable, doing some very gross things with underage people and gives me the ick. But at least has facilitated people with the rather influential personalities to do what they do. It's disgusting. And that's one of the things that I hate sometimes when I would at times be approached by, let's say, a company who wants me to promote the product through a video, which I rarely do because I really do not want to push something on you guys, something that I especially will never use. So that's why I most of the time we'll never have had ads on this channel, beside of course the typical YouTube ads that people already hate. But it at times feels as if a lot of people have forgotten that influencer used to have rather negative connotations. So in other words, I tend to be something that I do not want to be called, despite the fact that that is literally what I do to a certain degree. But yeah, it doesn't feel quite great.
Here's a healthy breakfast option. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you. Here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids.
And guess what? You can have all that in just a single scroll.
You in everything, all of the time. A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time.
Oh wow, those were definitely some lines, huh? Apathy is a tragedy and boredom is a crime. On one end, I think that you can chalk it up down to what we tend to see on the internet, right? The fact that we have to care for so much nowadays, like for far too much. And of course, if you are a person today on the internet, it's very much like standing in the village square and just shouting up about something. And because we have to care for so much, a lot of us just get numb with it. And we end up not caring. We become apathetic to the struggle that some may have. And of course, it takes the other direction where you are supposed to just accept all the vitriol, all the bad things that are sent your way. And we just take it as being part of the course, right? We become apathetic to the way that we are treating other people online. It's weird. And of course the part of boredom, which goes hand in hand with that. I remember as a kid, there was this saying that my parents used to tell me, of course, which was meant as a way to encourage me, but never came out truly that way, which was that smart people don't get bored. It was supposed to be this thing where like, you should do something. You shouldn't spend your time playing video games, despite the fact that as the older sibling, I have to always show the example, be better, always overperform in school. But that was never good enough. And that's the thing though, is when it's no longer just about an occasional thing, the occasional reminder that you should get motivated, that you should try this or that. Because boredom does serve a purpose in life. It's a way to tell your brain that it should get more creative or approach things in a different way. But when it becomes your everything, that you should always overperform, that you should always care, should always be engaged, the thing that our devices prime us to do, that's where it becomes a bad thing. And mind you, I don't already have a brain that's already predisposed to receiving a lot of stimuli. I am narcoleptic after all. But just because you can handle something, or that your body can accept a lot of dopamine, does not mean that it's good for you in the long run. And I know that as a content creator, I am partially contributing to that. It is. Let's not deny that. But yeah, a song like this that is more or less condensing all that I just said in few phrases, yeah, it's a good reminder of where we are.
Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. You know, it wasn't always like this. Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99.
He mentioned the towers, and of course oh boy, he mentions the towers, and I suppose what is... Oh boy, he mentions the towers, and what I suppose would be the .com boom. Yeah, the interesting thing about it is that it did balloon extremely high at around the very month where I was born. Yeah, in February of 95. And then ballooned further and then peaked around March of 2000s. That's where, after that at least, that's where the bubble bursted. People just lost the startups to venture capital, which just set a precedent for the internet to becoming, unfortunately, what we have today.
This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two.
Yeah.
We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you.
Oh.
You, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad. You were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed it to do. Now look at you. Look.
One of the scariest aspects of being a parent at the moment is not using this thing next to my child. It is frightening how captivating it is. I had my first phone at the age of 13. That was my first one. Look at this. Because children do copy what their parents do, and my daughter constantly wants to have something in her hands to fidget with that looks like our phone. It's fucking shameful. I gave her this. This was my second phone. I got the Nokia 3310 as the first, then I got this Nokia here. This absolute magnificent piece of hardware that has in it this. I loved this device, yet still, it was limited. It was back in the days where you could, like, you know, text underneath the table and do all that wonderful things during dinner and stuff. Yet still, I could put that down, because if I wanted to listen to actual music while I had the opportunity to browse on the internet on this thing, it was very inefficient. So I would have to go and use a CD player, use my MP3 or the iPod Classic that I used to own back then. You actually needed to do other things before everything was just consolidated into one device. It is, oh man. But the fact that we've reached a point where it actually takes effort to motivate certain people to go outside and do stuff is scary. It's really scary. I'm happy that I am a rather active person who likes to go outside a lot. I get claustrophobic if I sit in a room for far too long. Also because I'm narcoleptic, so when I don't have something activating me, I fall asleep. So I get bored easily.
Look at you, unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now, your insides out. Honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do. It was always the plan to put the world in your hand.
Oh. Wow. No, don't shift, buddy. No, that sounded so good. The way that he harmonized there, oh my god, that was so beautiful.
It was always
the plan to put the world in your hand. Oh man, that sounded good. Evil mastermind.
Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time.
Dude, Bo is a genius. The fact that this guy came up, like, was doing like internet skits, and then just had an entire wave through the internet. Like, he disappeared since 2021, right? Like, this video is 3 years old. Ever since then, he has not posted anything, at least to my knowledge. What a Chad.
I'm good, I interest you in everything, all of the time. A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything
All
and
the
everything
sounds.
and all of the time.
Bo just unlocked the ability to become a Pixar villain. Dude is just one day away from saying, "We will conquer the moon!" One thing that I noticed symbolically with the pace of the song is that, much like how you go down internet rabbit hole, the further and deeper you get into them, the faster and more insane stuff you get thrown at you. It is so well thought in the way that he composed this. And then you get that one brief moment when you start reminiscing about the past, what was and perhaps what could have been. And then you go, oh no, you think that you've got a break? The internet is here. It's not going anywhere. And this is even scarier when it comes from a person who grew up on the internet, performing to people and exposing every single facet of his life, right? The line that he says, "Your insides are out." But this is part of like an entire set, the one that he did on Netflix, isn't it? Actually, let me see. Bo Burnham. Inside. Yes, that's the 2021 thing. It's just full of songs like this. And, well, at least now, I know what the content was from the inside. Guys, this was an amazing watch. Thank you so much for this recommendation. I will be checking out more from Bo, more from Randy coming up soon as well. But the one thing that I will advise some of you to do today, as I will after I've edited this video, go outside. I know it's the cringiest thing that a person can ever say, but like, I know that some of you might be listening to this, not just straight up watching, but at least listening while you're doing something else. And this, if you are being productive at the same time as you're getting entertained, which is something that I like to do, I think it's a perfect combination. It tends to remove a lot of the stress that can occur when we're witnessing some of the stuff that goes on the internet. At least for me, that's how it tends to work. Anyways, guys, I appreciate the time that you spent here, and of course, I wish you all to have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.